Hello, it is Friday, 1 o'clock, and here I am. I am live, I think. Okay, now I'm live on, I think that's TikTok. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, or wherever you are. It may not be afternoon, but good afternoon. It is Friday, and this is Debbie Williams. I am coming to you for my live of What the Health is Wrong with You. Today's topic is really good. Come on in. It's like you guys have been waiting for me. Yes, look at the hearts. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Hi. Everybody come on in. Everybody's joining. Today's topic is going to be really good. Last week we focused on hair loss a little bit, and I had so many comments and so many people wanting to know more. So I'm going to go a little deeper into hair loss because it's really, really, really a problem that we all, at some point in time in our life, will deal with or have dealt with. So we're going to talk a little more about hair loss. I need to arm you with the knowledge. So when you start seeing your hair thin, you start seeing a bald spot, you start seeing your hair come out, you know what to do. I don't need you to run to the store to go buy biotin and all kinds of lotion, potions, and creams. I need you to understand there's something going on in your body. So I'm going to let you all come on in, get comfortable, get your cup of tea, get your coffee, get your juice, get your pen, get your pad. Pen and pad, and let's sit down and talk. And while you guys are coming in, I see the waves and the hearts. Hello, I love you back. Hello. Somebody said, I wear wigs to stop hair loss. Great. If you wear wigs, but even when you're wearing wigs, you got to make sure that you are not pulling the hairline, because what I'm seeing is a lot of people who are wearing wigs, when they take the wigs off, we don't have no edges. So we can talk about that too. But come on in so we can discuss hair loss. Why are you losing your hair? What is going on? The topic here is what the health is wrong with you? It's hair loss. And I'm going to tell you from a nutrition's standpoint or nutritional standpoint why you are losing hair, what's going on, and why you experience hair loss. The average person, when you are experiencing hair loss, when it gets real deep, because in the beginning, most people do nothing but try to do it themselves. The first thing everyone known to do is go get biotin. Now, biotin, I'm not going to say it's not good, but our body, actually, you have your own biotin in your body. When you're going to buy a biotin in the form of a supplement, most of those biotin supplements are synthetic, which means it's going to make your liver work harder. And if the liver works hard, the liver's going to struggle, and then you're going to have problems. But the first thing a person should do when they see that they are experiencing hair loss is look into your diet. You see, hair loss is an internal problem. It is not an external problem. Or let me rephrase that. 98% of your hair loss is an internal problem, not an external problem. An external hair loss problem is when we do things to our hair ourselves. You colored it and you put too much color in it, and now that hair is on the floor. You're using a chemical that took out your hair. You're wearing braids, locks, and different things, and you're leaving it in too long. And when that new hair grows out, that new hair is not as strong, you're weakening the hair, the follicle, and you'll lose hair. That's the 2% of why we lose hair from our own mistakes. The 98%, the other 98% is internal. Your body is talking to you. Hair loss is a way that your body communicates with you to tell you, I'm having some issues. Hello, can we talk here? Many of us don't pay attention to the signs that our body gives us when it's having problems, because pain is also a problem. And that is our body's way of talking to us to tell us, hey, hello, you know that back pain you got? You better go check your kidneys, because this is what's going on. So my goal is to educate you. I love education. I love doing research. I love sharing. I love inspiring. And this is what I'm here to do. So that's what we're going to do. So for all of you who do not know me, my name is Debbie Williams. I am a board-certified nutritionist. I am also a specialist in gut health, liver health, and a certified coach for kidney health. I have been in this business, in this industry for decades on end. I started out in this industry helping people with hair loss because I once upon a time was a hairstylist who was getting frustrated with sending my clients to a doctor or a dermatologist, and they were coming back telling them that nothing was wrong, but the hair kept coming out. And so I kept saying, okay, they're not giving you the right answer, then I'm going to go find the answer. So my journey led me into the medical world, but then I decided I wanted to get into the holistic medical world. And that's where I am. I'm a holistic practitioner. And my goal is food is medicine, and whatever we need to treat or take care of, we can take care of it with food, because food is medicine. And was it Hippocrates that said, let thy food be medicine? Hippocrates, I love talking about Hippocrates because he hit it on the head 2,000 years ago with a lot of issues that we are now dealing with in our modern day, because he told us thousands of years ago that every disease began in the gut. Nobody listened. Well, many listened, but I'm going to say Western medicine didn't listen, but now they're knowing, yes, all diseases are beginning in the gut. And now most people are looking at their gut health to get better and to heal and to get off a lot of these medications. So today we're going to address the symptoms of hair loss and specifically what is causing it. Now, there are many different things that can cause hair loss, but today I am addressing the vitamin zinc. I said the vitamin zinc, the mineral zinc. I'm going to address vitamins later, but the mineral zinc is a top reason for hair loss. And guess what? When you're losing hair and you've gone to your doctor and your dermatologist specifically for hair, no one is saying, let's check your zinc, because that could possibly be the problem. But that's it. It's unfortunate that when our bodies break down or our bodies are giving us signals that something is going on and we go to a doctor, no one is addressing this. Why is this phone dying? This one was supposed to be charged up. Can you get that charger? I'm sorry, guys. We're working off of 3 phones, and one of them just told us that it's dying. What I was saying is, when we go to the doctor, no one is addressing one big thing, and write this word down: nutritional deficiencies. When we go to our doctors, no one is addressing nutritional deficiencies first. Addressing a nutritional, can you do that? Okay, sorry guys, we're going to move you around for a little bit. Addressing a nutritional deficiency should be the first step for anything regarding your health, because if a mineral is off balance, nothing in your body is going to work right. And why is that? It's because your body works off of minerals. Minerals is the fuel. Minerals are the fuel that ignites your body. Your body cannot function without minerals. Calcium is a mineral. Magnesium is a mineral. Sodium is a mineral. Copper is a mineral. Iron is a mineral. Selenium is a mineral. And all of these minerals is what controls you. It's what feeds every organ and gland. It helps the blood. It does everything. So when we are sick, they should look at minerals first and then look at everything else. Now, our doctors are awesome, so please, I'm not disrespecting them by any means, but the science is there, the research is there, that the minerals is where we need to look. If you address your minerals first, then many times you can find the answer to the problem. So in my practice, I address minerals first, because when you address minerals first, you're actually you're going deep. You're going down to the root cause of the problem. Unfortunately, many of our doctors aren't looking at root causes. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. Our doctors have been trained, and this came from a friend of mine who is an emergency doctor, an emergency room doctor. She informed me that our doctors aren't trained to spend more than 5 to 10 minutes with you, but they're not trained to go into the nutritional aspect of things. Our doctors are more or less looking at symptoms, and our doctors, they're treating your symptoms because you went in there for a pain. So your doctor is going to write you a prescription for the pain. But what we need to understand is we got to go deeper than treating the symptom. We want to get down to go to the cause. Now, as a holistic practitioner, we don't treat anything. That title, treating and curing, goes to the medical doctors. We, on a holistic way, we share with you ways of foods and how these foods can support your body. So we're all about supporting the body through natural means. And if more people learn how to support their body through natural means, you'll have less sick people out there. And I'm speaking from experience of my own self. I can sit here and tell you my story of a person who stayed sick all the time. I had stomach issues growing up. I had stomach issues for, I'm going to say, the first part of my life. So for 20 years or so, I dealt with the type of issues where my mom and dad would take me to all sorts of doctors to find an answer for me, because out of 4 weeks, I'm doubled up in pain 3 weeks out of those 4. And doctors, no one could say anything. They told me I had acid reflux. I did all the different types of testing, all the drinking, the nasty chalky stuff. They looked down into my stomach over and over again, and nobody could see anything. They just say, they would say, oh, we see some air. Maybe there's bubbles and things. But I was sick all the time. And I personally, after I started analyzing myself as I was growing older, I felt, okay, I need to do something about it. And what I realized is that when I would eat certain foods, these foods would have me doubled up in pain. So that's when I know, okay, I can't do this food. I can't do that food. So I had to start to learn for myself how to take care of myself, because I didn't want to stay on any type of medication. And they never gave me a direct answer. It was like, yeah, we think you're dealing with acid reflux and all sorts of other things. But what actually happened is I was dealing with something even bigger. I was dealing with a hole in my esophagus that we later found out later on. And that was from acid building up, acid coming out of the lining of the stomach. And it literally ate a hole in the stomach lining. That was an issue that I was dealing with. So that led me to learn how to eat differently. And with this process, it also showed me that when I ate certain things, my moods and behaviors was different. And that's something that you all need to know. The food you eat has a lot to do with your moods, your behaviors. If we're eating lots of sugar, you're hyper, you might even become irritable, just different things. But it all goes back to nutrition. It all goes back to a deficiency in the body. So for me, why did I have these issues? I was deficient in zinc. I was deficient in copper. I didn't have any selenium. I was low in sulfur. I didn't have any magnesium. I was too high in calcium. All of that threw my entire body off. So my whole digestive system got messed up. My gut was destroyed in a sense, and I had to rebuild my gut back. All of this because of my eating habits. And back then, I ate everything. You know, I ate a lot of processed foods and all this. So here's what I want to share with you. Today we're talking about hair loss, but this is what I want you to know. Chronic disease is the leading cause of hair loss. I'll say that again. Chronic disease is the leading cause of hair loss. But here I got one bigger than that. A nutritional deficiency is the leading cause of a chronic disease. So did you connect the pieces right there? Chronic disease is the leading cause of hair loss, but a nutritional deficiency is the leading cause of a chronic disease. And let me go one further step. And an imbalanced gut is the leading cause of a nutritional deficiency. So when we look at those, now we can understand, oh, so that's why I have these problems. Everything goes back to a nutritional deficiency. If it's a nutritional deficiency, then we got to go back and look at the gut and all of these things. And it's like a domino effect. So today I am going to address one of the minerals that is one of the main causes of hair loss, of hair thinning. It is zinc. Zinc is one of the most powerful minerals for the body, but when you are deficient in zinc, you will have a load of hair loss. So let me share with you about zinc. Zinc is an essential mineral and antioxidant that helps you maintain a healthy immune system. It helps to fight oxidative stress. It boosts your eye health. So if your vision is not good, it's likely you may be deficient in zinc. Zinc helps your heart. And zinc also helps your skin. Zinc also balances your hormones, and zinc can also help when you have enough zinc. Zinc can help to reduce inflammation. And here's one most people don't know. The majority of your zinc is on your skin. Now, a deficiency of zinc can lead to serious diseases and health issues, including what we're discussing today, hair loss. But let me share some other things that when you're deficient in zinc, here are some of the symptoms that happens when you are zinc deficient. An impaired appetite, where you just don't feel like eating. That's an imbalance of zinc. Depression. Oh, I could spend hours on it. If you are a person, you're going through depression, your moods are off, yet they got you on some kind of medication. Here's the thing. You could just be deficient in zinc. Now, I will also address that when you're listening to me today, I don't need you going to run out to buy a zinc supplement, because here's what could happen. One, some of the supplements is mostly junk, but if you take too much zinc, it can also cause an adverse effect. So we don't want to overdose on zinc. Here's the best way. If when I name some of these symptoms, and if you think this is you, well, go have an appointment with your doctor. Ask your doctor, can you, well, I said do, because there's female doctors too. Listen, can you give me a zinc test? Can you check all of my minerals? That's what you need to ask your doctor. Now, I will tell you at the end of this call, I also do that in my practice, but I'll share with you how I do my zinc testing. But let me tell you some of the symptoms and signs of a zinc deficiency. Let me tell you more. We talked about depression. So if you are a person that you find yourself depressed all the time and you can't figure out why, you just sad, you can't get out of it, you feel stuck, I'm here to tell you. And if you know someone who's feeling like that, please let them know that maybe they just need to get their zinc tested, because you just might have a zinc deficiency. But in many cases, because you went to a doctor, they put you on Prozac and they gave you all other sorts of medications for your moods, behaviors, and mental health. But guess what? It just might be you need to eat more foods rich in zinc, but it goes a little deeper than that. Because if you have a zinc deficiency, then that means your body is not absorbing the zinc that you're getting from the foods you eat. Because this is how we get zinc. You can't buy zinc. Your body doesn't produce zinc. Zinc comes from the ground. Zinc comes from natural zinc, I should say. Comes from the foods we eat. And at the end, I will share with you foods that are rich in zinc, the most powerful foods that are rich in zinc that you can add to your diet. So the best way to put more zinc back into the body is to eat it, not necessarily through the form of a supplement. Because again, you take a zinc supplement, you could be doing more damage than helping yourself out. So now we talked about depression. Here's another one. All of you out there who are dealing with a lot of acne, a lot of pimples, a lot of problems with your skin, it is zinc. When you are deficient in zinc, you will have lots of acne. You will have lots of pimples. You will have dry skin. You will have these issues. So again, we have to address our minerals. If we address our minerals, and everybody on this call, I'm saying if you address your minerals, you will learn so much about your body. And like I said, I'll tell you how you can do that with me if you want me to do a mineral test with you. But acne is an issue. Vision problems, like I said, if you're feeling like your vision isn't as good, it could possibly be your zinc. Also, digestive issues. So remember I said to you how nutritional issues is connected with chronic disease, and chronic disease is connected to the gut. Well, that's digestive issues. If your gut is having problems, your body is not absorbing the zinc, because the gut, the digestive system, it feeds off of that zinc. Also, colds and flu. If you are a person, you catch cold, somebody can look at you and just sneeze maybe a mile away, a mile, but you know what I mean, a few feet away, and now you have a cold, your zinc is low. That means your immune system is weak and you can catch anything. So if you are a person where you catch colds very easy, it is your zinc. Low immune system, bladder infections. If you find out that you get bladder infections a lot, it is your zinc. A loss of taste and smell. If you are a person where you can't taste things, it's like all of a sudden the food don't taste the same, or your sense of smell is decreasing, it is a zinc deficiency. Here's some that I think is so important for our men: prostate issues. If you're dealing with a prostate issue, have your doctor check your zinc, because if a prostate issue, it relates to zinc. Diabetes, also a zinc issue. A low sex drive, that's a zinc issue. Black and blue bruises. If you are a person where you notice you always get these bruises and nobody hit you, you didn't fall down the steps and you didn't beat yourself up getting out the car, then it's likely you have a zinc deficiency. Black and blue bruises, that's your body talking to you. Now, everything that I'm just explaining to you guys right now, remember I said your body talks to you. All the symptoms of pain is your body's way of telling you. And because I'm sharing with you now these specific things, this is your body telling you, I'm having a problem with zinc. So we need to start listening to our bodies. If we listen to our bodies, we don't have to always go run to the doctor first. You can try some natural ways. And then if that's not working, if you want to go to your doctor, then please go to your doctor. What else is there? Fatigue. If you are a person, you find yourself tired all the time, you just woke up from 8 hours of sleep, but you're dragging out of the bed, it is a zinc deficiency. Dry skin, itchy scalp, kidney disease. When a person has kidney disease, the zinc in their body is off. All of this. And the point of me bringing all of this to you all is for you to understand the power of the minerals in your body. If you understood how the role that minerals play, now it's like a wake-up call for you for your health. Instead of asking a doctor, what is wrong with me? They're not going to say, well, it could be your minerals, but no doctor can dispute that I'm telling you when you're having these symptoms, if they were to check the zinc would be low. Liver disease is also one. And here's one that's really important. Infertility issues. If you are a person that you've been dealing with infertility, even to the point where you may even have had miscarriages and things like that, have your doctor check your zinc. That could be the cause or one of the causes. And even with zinc, a lot of times, if you are zinc deficient, it's another disease or something underneath that. But zinc is definitely a factor. So this is why I wanted to explain that to you. Now, when the body is also deficient in zinc, and when we talk about zinc, I don't know if I explained to you the importance of zinc and all the different roles that it plays in your body, but zinc actually helps in the production of new cells and so many things. The other thing when you are zinc deficient is unexplained weight loss. If you are losing weight, now most of the time we tend to gain weight when we're having health issues, but there are many people who start to lose weight and you don't know why. Unexplained weight loss could be a zinc deficiency. Wounds that don't heal. If you have a cut and no matter what you do, the scab comes, the scab fall off, and the scab come again, the scab fall off. If that's a continuous thing, that's zinc, because zinc has a lot to do with the process of wounds healing. So we have to look at that. I addressed everything. And one last thing is diarrhea. Now, I know that this call was about hair loss, but I couldn't do you justice as a nutritionist if I don't tell you all the symptoms and things to look for with zinc. Now, when we are experiencing hair loss, again, we need to look at zinc, but there's also another mineral that we need to address when we are dealing with hair loss. And I'm telling you this because as a nutritionist who focuses on hair loss and skin problems, these were the things that I found from the very beginning. And what I did in my practice as a nutritionist, once I saw that the person had a deficiency of zinc and copper and iron and all these different things, what I wound up doing is building you out a new way of eating, a meal plan that has food, that it contains foods that are rich in zinc, foods that are rich in copper, foods that are rich in iron. This is the first step of how we can help our hair get back on our head. But we also need to do other things like address the gut, because if there's a zinc deficiency, then it's likely the gut is imbalanced. It's likely the microbiome, you don't have enough of all the good bacteria that is needed to keep your body in motion. And just to talk about the microbiome for a moment, like I mentioned to you, Hippocrates told us all diseases begin in the gut. So when we are looking at our body system, when we're suffering, when the body is having issues, we need to go back and address the gut. Now, what is it about the gut that we need to address? It's the microbiome. Now, the microbiome is a community of microbes, of bugs that live in your body, bacteria, fungi, and viruses. All of these are accommodating your body system. You are just the host to this. There are trillions of bugs that live inside of your body. And these bugs have a job to do, every last one of them. These are strains. We'll call them a strain. I'll call them a bug to keep it real. But when we don't have enough of the good strains or good bugs, the body will start to have problems and suffer. There needs to be balance. The way God made the earth, there should be balance in everything. Like, we got the good, we got the bad. Together, the good and the bad brings balance. It's the same in our body. We have the good bugs that do things. Then we got some bad bugs that really we don't really want them in there, but they're supposed to be there because the two of them together bring balance. And so if your gut is the source of your hair loss and all your other issues, we have to go back to the microbiome and figure out. Now, I also do a test in my practice where we look inside the gut through a fecal test to see what type of strains you have in your body. We all should have trillions of diversity, different types. Lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, Akkermansia. These are the names of these strains that we have in our body. And they play major roles in your body, from being the bodyguard to being the nurse to being the personal trainer. All of these bugs play specific roles in your body. And if we are looking at a hair loss problem, if you on this call is looking at a hair loss problem, trust me when I say you also need to address your gut. And when you address your gut, then that means we are also going to address nutritional behaviors. All of them come together. And if we can address all of these, you will see a difference in your skin, your hair, your moods, your behaviors, and so much more. Now, copper is the other mineral that I want to share with you that plays a role with hair loss. Copper is a trace mineral like zinc, and its main role is to help form hemoglobin and collagen in the body. It also helps with the formation of red blood cells. But a deficiency of copper means that your body is not making enough white blood cells. And copper helps also with brain functions and the development in our brain. So again, here is another mineral that plays a major role in your body system that you had no idea. And again, how do we keep these minerals going in the body? How do we satisfy the body? We satisfy the body with our diet. We satisfy the body with the things that we choose to eat. We satisfy the body with our lifestyle. And so that means eating better. That means eating a better choice of food. That means stop eating the processed foods, the fast foods, the box foods, the packaged foods, because they're all processed and they all contains all sorts of chemicals and preservatives. And all of these things are causing problems within our body system. Our liver can't break that down. And our liver is one of the hardest working organs in the body. And if the liver can't break it down, then no other organ is going to be able to do it. The kidneys is going to struggle. The pancreas is going to struggle. The whole gut system is going to have an issue and problem. So I want to give you some symptoms and signs of when you are deficient in copper, because copper also plays a major role in your hair. Copper is actually that mineral that has a lot to do with the color in your hair. It helps with the production of the melanin in there. So if your hair is graying early, or if you are all gray, it's likely that you are deficient in the mineral copper. Copper plays so many roles in our body. And one of the major things that copper can do is it helps to build up the immune system, just like zinc. Zinc and copper are two best friends, but their next friend that works together with zinc and copper is iron. And then they all need vitamin C. So all of this together, they're a team, they're a crew working inside your body for you. And these are the things that you need. Now, it is very important to keep copper in balance with zinc, because when one of them is off, it'll throw the other off. So here are some symptoms of when you are deficient in copper: hair loss, hair loss, hair loss, hair thinning, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair. And so what I want to explain to you about gray hair really isn't gray. Hair is white. If you look at the hair, we call it gray because when you mix black and white together, it makes gray. But if you look at the strand is actually white. So that hair, when it comes out, it's white because when you don't have enough copper, there is not enough of the melanin. Copper cannot produce. If there's not enough melanin in the body system, then you're not going to be able to produce your hair color, whatever color that may be. So in that case, that hair is just going to come out white. So if you are a person, you're graying, then, and yes, everyone says, well, graying is a part of aging. True. But that also means that when we age, we also start to become deficient in these minerals. So again, if we start eating copper-rich foods, we start eating zinc-rich foods, you'll see a difference. Now, I also want to address this because of who we are in this day and age. I would say 95% of us have nutritional deficiencies, and we have issues of absorbing nutrients. So we need help. Our bodies need help with absorbing nutrients from the foods we eat. One thing that can help is if you're taking fulvic acid. Fulvic acid actually helps the nutrients. It opens up the cells so that your body can absorb the nutrients that it needs. I'll give you a fulvic acid that I use. I'll show you guys at the end. But a fulvic acid is good to take along with your new way of eating. When you get off this call and you're saying, oh, I'm going to start eating more zinc. Great, but you might need some help with that. So like a fulvic acid, a fulvic mineral, Shilajit. Most of you know I talk a lot about Shilajit, and actually fulvic acid and Shilajit are all mixed in together. But you would need something like that to help the body to absorb. Another thing that can also help your body absorb nutrients better when you start eating more zinc foods and more copper-rich foods is taking extra virgin olive oil and lemon every day in the morning on an empty stomach. That is the best thing you could do for your body. When you do that, I put it in a shot glass, 1 to 2 tablespoons of pure extra virgin olive oil, 1 teaspoon of fresh squeezed lemon in that shot glass. Take it down. What it's doing is starting the day for your body. It's like an oil change for your body, but it also allows your body to be able to absorb the nutrients that you're going to eat during the day. So again, if we are wanting to get more zinc in our body, we might have to give the body a boost. We might need to activate the system. That's what the extra virgin olive oil and lemon will do for you. So when we are deficient in copper, let me go back to that. One, that's a hair loss issue. Fatigue is a symptom of a copper deficiency. A weak immune system is a symptom of a copper deficiency. And let's stop there for a moment. Alopecia is an immune disorder. Now, if you have alopecia, which is an immune disorder, it really could be because the big whole thing was actually it was because you are deficient in copper. And like I said, if you're deficient in copper, it can cause a weak immune system. So what I'm sharing here with you today is how to get to the root cause. Yes, someone said you had a doctor told you have an autoimmune issue, but nobody tells you why. Most of the time they'll say it's genetics. They'll say it's been passed on, but it could very well be because no one looked in your minerals. If they did a mineral test and see that you're deficient in copper and maybe deficient in zinc, that could very well be the reason why your immune system is weakened in the first place. Well, then let's build that immune system up. And if we build the immune system up, those issues you have, those autoimmune issues may reverse. And believe it or not, there are so many people that can tell you stories of how they have reversed disorders and diseases that they once had. And the reversal is usually through a change of diet, a new lifestyle, and how you think about life and think about things. But arthritis is also common. If a person is suffering with arthritis, you got to see if there's a copper deficiency. Copper plays a major role with our joints. Joint pain is another. If you suffer with joint pain, it could very well be because of a copper deficiency. Gray hair, we discussed that. Muscle weakness, osteoporosis is another one. Here's a big one for all of my ladies out there. Menstrual cycle, your menstrual problems. If you are a person that you've been dealing with menstrual problems probably all your life since the day you started your cycle, heavy periods and all that. And I know you guys on the call, you might think that's TMI, but I like to keep it real. All of those menstrual issues that you're having, have your gynecologist take a test for you to see if you're copper deficient. Because the studies, now understand everything that I'm sharing with you, these are all backed by studies. This is not just Debbie talking crap. Everything that I talk about, it's been researched. There's studies behind it. It's research behind it. And menstrual issues, studies have shown that when they've done these studies, these women were deficient in copper. Low white blood cell count. If you got a low white blood cell count, there's copper because, like I said, copper helps to form hemoglobin and collagen. Brittle bones, bleeding gums, vision problems, skin inflammation, and brain fog. So those are the things that you can deal with when you're deficient in copper. But again, the well-rounded purpose of me sharing this with you is a copper deficiency can cause hair loss. So now, before we get off the call, I want to share with you some foods that you can add into your diet. Let's start with the copper foods since I just addressed copper. Now, you want foods that is rich in copper to include in your diet. My favorite is mushrooms. Mushrooms. I am coming out with a mushroom line. I can't wait until it comes out. Mushrooms. If I tell you some secrets about mushroom, do you know, and do the research, Studies show that mushrooms have anti-cancer properties. That's a big one. We're talking the lion mane's mushroom, which helps your brain. Studies shows that the lion mane mushroom they're using it to help people with Alzheimer's and dementia. You got the shiitake mushrooms, the reishi mushrooms, but mushrooms as a whole, loaded with copper. Just make yourself start adding more mushrooms into your diet, and watch you see how your skin and your hair and your moods and everything will transform just from mushrooms. Asparagus is high in copper. Beet greens is high in copper. Bamboo shoots, watercress. Here's one that is a secret weapon for food: alfalfa seeds or alfalfa sprouts. Sprouts as a whole, actually all sprouts, from broccoli sprouts to alfalfa sprouts, they actually have more vitamins and minerals in it than so for instance, let's talk about broccoli. The broccoli sprout is more powerful than the broccoli itself. Broccoli is fantastic, but sprouts. So get into eating more sprouts. But the alfalfa sprouts has a lot of copper in it. Kale has copper in it. Mustard greens, spinach have a lot of copper in it. Navy beans, for all of my vegans out there, navy beans have a lot of copper. Artichoke have a lot of copper. Pumpkin have a lot of copper. Now, I'm going to stop and talk about pumpkin for a moment. Not only does pumpkin have a lot of copper, but pumpkin also have a lot of zinc, has a lot of zinc in it. So I guess it was maybe 7, 8 years ago, I developed, as a nutritionist who was really focusing at that time, helping people grow their hair back, helping people get their hair back or just understand what was going on with their hair and skin. I developed a hair oil specifically that had copper and zinc in it. And it's called my pumpkin hair serum. And no, this is not a pitch for you to buy it, but I just wanted to tell you guys, because we're talking about zinc and we're talking about copper and we're talking about how I got my start as a hairstylist who went to become a nutritionist because I wanted to help my hair clients grow hair and keep the hair on their head. I developed a whole hair care line. And this line is my pumpkin hair serum. And it's because the pumpkin has the zinc, the pumpkin have the copper, and these are the main things. So it's a pumpkin serum. I believe I'll share with you at the end if you're interested in buying. I think we have like a 50% off sale of that. But let's go back to the foods that is rich in copper. Zucchini have a lot of copper in it. Clams has a lot of copper in it. Green peppers, tomatoes, lentils, dandelion green, which is my favorite because dandelion greens is the best friend to help the liver. Your liver, when you eat dandelion greens, your liver is like, ooh, I love you. When you eat dandelion greens, it helps your liver. It activates the liver. And the liver is that organ, is that unsung hero that no one knows. It's that one that's fighting for you. It's the heart. It fights harder than anything else. And the liver is also that organ that when you are gaining weight and you can't get the weight off, you got to go check your liver out, because the liver is the one who stores the fat. It metabolizes the fat. But when the liver is struggling because of our diets, because we've overworked it, because it's overloaded, you're going to start gaining weight because it cannot process the foods. It cannot break down the toxins, and it's going to make your body store fat in all kinds of places. Places we don't want it, places we don't want it. But that is because of our liver. So I brought that up because I was saying dandelion greens is a special, if you are trying to help get your liver back in shape, eating salads with dandelion greens. Lentils also have a lot of copper in it. What else? I have my sheet here so I do not forget anything. And I have a long list. Carrots has a lot of copper in it. Radishes. Now let's stop and talk about the radish. I tell you guys a little bit about the radish, but here's a secret you don't know about the radish. God is so amazing, and he has a sense of humor. I have noticed that some of the most powerful foods, superfoods that heal the body, that is the power, that have anti-cancer properties, antimicrobial properties, anti-inflammatory properties, are the foods that most of us never pay any mind to. So the radish, that little tiny thing that most people disregard, you don't only look at it unless it's in a salad. Well, the radish is a panacea to the liver and kidneys. The radish also helps to heal the mucosal lining of your gut. The radish has powerful anti-cancer properties. Who knew? Well, now you know. So just letting you know, don't sleep on foods. And again, I always tell everybody this. I want you to get to learn foods. The easiest way is when you're thinking about going into the produce aisle, go to the red foods. All of our red foods are the powerhouses for our body. The radish, little red thing, the apple, all of that, the pomegranate, the red foods, red and orange, they are the best foods to heal the body. But I was saying that the radish has a lot of copper in it. Coconut water is also really good. Now, if you're purchasing coconut water from the store, please read your label. If you got a coconut water that's loaded with a bunch of sugar, I need you to put that back on the shelf, because what's the purpose of drinking a coconut water that has all sorts of artificial flavors, colors, and sugar? Nope, let's get rid of that. What else has a lot of copper in it? Seaweed. So all of you, like in your sea moss and all that, lots of copper in it. Brussels sprouts, lots of copper. Romaine lettuce, that is another one that I love very much. I actually love romaine lettuce more than kale. Kale is amazing, but everyone can't eat kale. And many of you don't even know it. You might eat kale, put it in a smoothie, and don't realize that your stomach is bothering you later. Kale has something in it called oxalates. Everyone can't break down oxalates. So for me, I always choose romaine lettuce over kale. Kidney beans, cucumbers, loaded with copper. So here's what I want to share with you all. You can make a cucumber hair mask for your hair. Get some cucumber, leave the skin on, put it in a blender, food processor, mix it up. After you wash your hair, put that cucumber mask on that hair, let it sit on there. You can put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in it. Now you just made yourself an amazing mask. The cucumber has so many compounds and minerals and things in it for your hair. It's your copper, it's your zinc, all of that. Keep doing that and watch you see how the hair is healthy, shiny. You see the little hairs start to grow in because you're feeding the hair from the outside. Now, the hair that's on our head is dead. Hair is a living cell within the body. So the cell inside of the body is what needs the nutrients. But even when you apply a mask, remember the follicle has holes. So the nutrients are going down under the scalp to feed the living hair cell. Now let's go through some foods that are rich in zinc. Believe it or not, most of the foods that I just mentioned to you about copper, zinc also. So you have your alfalfa seeds, you have your zucchini, you have your mushrooms, you have spinach, you have asparagus, you have seaweed, the radish, of course, romaine lettuce, cucumber, navy beans, lentils, blackberries, black beans, white beans, broccoli. All of these are loaded with zinc. The pumpkin, like I mentioned, have lots of zinc. So when we talk about nuts, most of our nuts have zinc in it. Our cashew nuts have zinc. The pecan, I'm from New York, we say pecan. It has zinc in it. A lot of beans, a lot of peas, black-eyed peas, chickpeas, dandelion greens, one of my favorites, also have a lot of zinc. Now think about this. I just mentioned to you all about dandelion greens and how it is the best friend to our liver. Now, dandelion greens have zinc. Dandelion greens have copper. So think about it. All of the foods that help your body have all of the major minerals that you need. It's common sense to me. It's like, oh, that's why I feel better now, because I'm eating a food that contains all of the minerals that our bodies need. So this list that I gave you guys, I hope you have been writing them down, of the things that have a lot of zinc and a lot of copper, because when we are talking today about why we're losing our hair, we have to look at the minerals in our body. It starts there. You can buy all the topical products you want. If we're not addressing internally, then you're going to get temporary results. And that's why even with my hairline product, I share with people all the time, my product alone is not going to be the recovery source for everything. You have to change your diet too. You have to give your body the nutrients, because remember, you're feeding the hair cell from within. Healthy hair starts from the inside, not from the outside. So if you're doing both, then you're doing well. So before we get off our call, I wanted to share with you guys what I have going on today. Do you have any questions for me, Jay? So I will answer some questions. Do you want to write them down for me, or you just want to tell me? So I'll go back to, while she's getting some of the questions that you guys are wanting to ask me, let's go into how can you test for mineral deficiencies, how I do it in my practice. I do something called a hair mineral analysis. You guys can Google hair mineral analysis. You'll see a lot of different companies come up, but many of those companies that do hair mineral testing, it's a lab that's really, they use chemicals on the sample of hair, which is not good. I work with a doctor who I am going to say is how would I describe him? He's world renowned, and he's been doing hair mineral testing probably for over 30 years. So he is the real deal. And so I personally, I don't have a lab where I am analyzing the sample. I send your sample that you send me to him. His lab will, and we only have 2 reputable labs in this country, by the way. So a lot of the things you guys are seeing on Amazon and all sorts of stuff, you will not get good results. I have people that go to Amazon, get a hair mineral analysis, can't understand it. Then they contact me and go, can you read this to me? And I'm like, yeah, no, we got to do another one. But a hair mineral analysis reveals deficiencies of what's going on in your body. It also reveals excesses. So you may have too much of something. You could already have too much zinc. I'm talking about a zinc deficiency, but you could very well be losing hair because you got too much zinc. That means the body is not absorbing it. But a hair mineral analysis will also help determine thyroid function, adrenal function, chronic fatigue, inflammation, blood sugar imbalances. One of the most important things for me is heavy metal toxins in your body. So your hair tells the story of your life. As a matter of fact, many corporations now, before they hire you, they're not telling you to go in that bathroom and pee in a cup. They're saying, we need a sample of your hair, because your hair they can see what drugs you're taking, if any. Everything they need to know about you is on a sample of hair. And this is why I do it in my practice. I take samples of your hair. Then once we get the results back, now I'm actually going to send you everything that's going on in your body. I'm like, yep, it was your copper. Look at your zinc. Your calcium is off. But I don't just say that. I give you details explaining to you what is going on in your body. And so what happens is I take the results that I get from him, which is in a lot of medical jargon, and I rewrite everything for you so you can understand what is going on in your body. And then we put together a plan for you, the next step, if that's what you want. And that plan means me building you out the right foods, me building you out the right supplementation, me building you out everything you need to get your body on this new health journey so that you can now possibly, if all goes well, take yourself off medication. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite people, and I know she might be on the call, but I'm not going to call out your name. She just sent me an email showing me her blood pressure results. She said, Debbie, I'm about to stop taking this medicine. Now, again, as a holistic practitioner, we holistically can never tell somebody to stop taking a medication. That is unethical. But when you are working with a nutritionist or a naturopathic doctor or a functional medicine doctor, well, these are the things that eventually you'll wind up seeing a change, and you'll have this discussion with your doctor that maybe we need to reduce my medication, or maybe your doctor, if your doctor's a good one, they'll be like, you don't need that no more. Let's stop taking that. So she sent me an email, said she took a chance because she's been following my protocol now for about a year. And she's been doing exceptionally well. And she now realized she decided to she weaned herself off of her blood pressure medicine. And she just sent me what her blood pressure looked like for the last 4 or 5 days. And it has been absolutely amazing. And I'm going, oh, this is wonderful. But again, if you want to change the way you eat, if you're tired of being sick, here's what I always say. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, let's start with a hair mineral analysis. Let's see what your body is saying to you that you can't comprehend at this point in time. And then let's move on to the next step of what needs to happen for you, not only just for your hair, but for your overall health, for your family, for all of it. Because again, with the hair mineral analysis, it's going to tell me what kind of toxins you have in your body. Arsenic, lead, mercury, aluminum, all of that. A lot of that we have in our body and don't even know it. And so these are the things that is causing destruction to the gut. These are the things that are causing destruction to our liver. These are the things that are also causing destruction to make the kidneys not function well. So when we start with this type of test, now we're opening the doors to a new way of living. So if you're interested of wanting to get a hair mineral analysis, we will leave the information after this video and after we actually, because it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be on Instagram, I believe. And I don't think it's too long for TikTok. But if you want to see a replay of this video, then please go to my YouTube channel. And there we will have it where you can download it and get all the information that we discussed today. So if you want a hair mineral analysis, which I suggest, I do it myself, my entire family. I do it twice a year. One year I had to do it 3 times because I had foot surgery. And after the surgery, because of the anesthesia, I had so many toxins in my body. I needed another test so I can see what type of toxins, and it was off the chain. It just crazy. But I do it 2 times a year mostly. This is a test that you all should think about doing so you can keep up with your body's health. We're all on a health journey now. We all want to be healthy. And without you doing a type of test where you know what you're deficient in, where you know what you're strong in, what you're weak in, then you're just really doing nothing. It's a losing battle. You're taking supplements and don't know if you really need those supplements. You might be making your body work harder, not smarter. So instead of that, be smart, see what your body is telling you, and then make your moves from that point. So that's where the hair mineral analysis will come into play. Next, I wanted to share with you guys, you said you had a couple of questions for me. Okay, let me hear what she has here. Yes, ma'am.
Does menopause have an effect on hair loss?
I'm sorry, what? Menopause? Oh, absolutely. So someone asked the question, does menopause have an effect on hair loss? Absolutely. So when you are going through menopause, basically that has a lot to do with a deficiency. It's going to affect, remember I said in regards to copper. Copper has a lot to do with our gynecological health. Copper and zinc, they play a lot with our menstrual cycle. So when we're going through menopause, most people that are going through menopause, they will have a shift in their copper, and you will have a shift in your zinc. So yes, ma'am, to answer your question, your minerals, there's a shift in there. And not only that, when you're going through menopause, especially if someone is going through menopause and they're going through the moods and the mood swings and the behaviors and all that there, you also need to look at your gut, because 70 or 80% of our hormones is produced in our gut. So there's the serotonin, and then there's dopamine. These are the hormones that make us happy. These are the hormones that make us laugh. These are the hormones that gives us joy. Well, if your gut is disrupted, your body's not producing enough serotonin. Your body's not producing the dopamine. Your body is not doing what it needs to do. So in return, you're mad all the time. You got a bad attitude all the time. You're telling people off and cursing them out and all kind of stuff. So yes, we need to go back and look at the gut. And again, that's another test that I do. I do a gut health test. I do a hair mineral analysis test, and then I build you out a nutritional program and tell you, let's go, let's do it. So yes, to answer your question. You have another question for me?
Yeah. Which mineral deficiency is associated with PCOS?
So which mineral deficiency is associated with PCOS? That's a good one. I actually am doing a video I'm writing now about PCOS. It is copper, it is zinc, it is selenium, it is magnesium, it is sulfur, it is potassium, and it is, I think it's calcium and phosphorus also. So that's a lot. So the person who asked the question about what mineral deficiency is associated with PCOS, what I suggest, you get a mineral test so that you can see that. And I always tell people, even if you get a mineral test through me and I sit down and I explain it to you, I want you to take this test to your doctor. I've had people do it all the time, and they'll bring the hair mineral analysis, and the doctor will be like, where'd you get this from? But while the doctor's reading it, like, oh, but where did you get this from? But then they're like, oh yeah, but where'd you get this from? So yeah, I always say, listen, that hair mineral analysis is a medical document. It was performed by a medical doctor, my doctor that I use. So yes, it is a piece of document that you can take to show your doctor. So you can go, doc, look, see right here. Okay, my calcium is out of place. So you're going to have to work with me with this blood pressure medicine. So yes, so I would suggest that. I'll take one last question before we end our call. What do you got for me?
2 more questions. If your hair is colored, can you take the hair mineral analysis?
So someone asked, if your hair is colored, can you still do a hair mineral analysis? Now, when we do a hair mineral analysis, you are taking hair, and when you do it with me, we send you a video to show you how to do this test, because we need hair from the occipital bone in the back of your head. That's where our hair is the strongest. And think about it, for men who recede, you don't have hair up here, but you always got hair back here. So that's where we need the hair from. But not only do we need the hair from this part of the back of the head, but we're also needing root hair, because root hair is the new hair that just grew out. So for that person who has color, what I suggest, you need to wait until your new growth has grown out. And you know when the new growth go out, because your new hair will be different from the color that you colored your hair. So we need that new hair. So let the new growth grow out, because when you're snipping at the root. Now, also, I want to share with you all, When people like, well, I'm trying to cut my hair. That was an issue I had with my daughter some years ago. I wanted a hair mineral analysis for her, but she refused to give me hair because she thought I needed to go in with a big scissors and chunk the hair. No, actually what I do is I use thinning shears. And if you know anything about a thinning shear will go into the hair and snip. Like if I had thinning shears right now and I was to cut this, everything else would not fall off. It would cut through it and I'd be able to pull strands out of it. So you use thinning shears to cut in the back, because this way you're not always feeling like, oh man, that bald spot didn't grow back yet because you cut it for hair. No, I'm not asking you to make a bald spot in your head. Get some thinning shears, cut at the root. We need the root because that's where the real hair is. Cut at the root, use the thinning shears and pull the hair through. What they say is we need a spoonful of hair. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. If you're going in different sections, you snip here, you snip here, you snip back there. That's enough for us to be able to take it to the lab to examine it. You said you have one more question?
Somebody said you're looking mighty fine, ma'am.
That's not a question. Well, thank you for the one who said I was looking good. Thank you. But that wasn't a question.
Somebody said, how do we make sure we absorb these nutrients?
Okay. Beautiful question. Someone said, how do we make sure that we absorb these nutrients? Remember in this conversation, and I don't know if that person was in the call, most of us are having trouble. Our bodies are breaking down. We are living in a world that making it so tough for us just to live healthy and eat healthy. So our body is needing help with absorbing our nutrients. And just to wrap it up, we get our nutrients from our foods we eat, and every nutrient that we need comes from the ground. Every plant, every produce, everything that comes from the ground has your magnesium and your iron and your copper and your zinc and your calcium and all those different things. So basically, what I wanted to say, now, what was that question again? Because I started running off.
How do we make sure we absorb these?
So the best way to absorb your nutrients, because most of us are nutrient deficient, or maybe we're dealing with malabsorption issues. Malabsorption means the body is not absorbing what you're trying to give it. Even if you're taking the best supplements, if your body's not absorbing it, you're just flushing it out of your body. Fulvic acid, and as a matter of fact, I have an amazing brand. Can you give me that bottle right there? You need something like Shilajit or a fulvic acid or a fulvic mineral to help your body absorb your nutrients. So this brand right here, this is not my brand, so I'm not pitching this or anything, but somebody asked the question, so I'm showing you the answer. This is a fulvic mineral solution from a brand that I actually love and trust, Amio Life. And what fulvic minerals do with this solution, whether it's this one or another fulvic acid actually helps nutrients absorb better in your body. It literally directly opens up the cells. So it goes in there and go, open up cell, get your butt open. Now open up your mouth. And now your body is being able to absorb your nutrients better. So if you want to know the best way to absorb nutrients, because our bodies need assistance at this point in time in our life because of our environment, our lifestyle, our stresses, and so much more, this is taking a fulvic mineral, taking a fulvic acid, taking a Shilajit, something like that will help the body to absorb the nutrients better. Also, extra virgin olive oil and lemon. I mentioned that in the very beginning. That is also an opportune way to get your nutrients into the cells. So I answered that question. So thank you all for being on this call today. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you wrote down these foods and understand that your hair loss is due to a mineral problem. It could be zinc. It could be copper. One of the other ones, we didn't talk about that today, but vitamin D plays a major role in hair loss too. And how many of you on this call have been told by your doctor that you're vitamin D deficient and you've noticed that your hair has been thinning for a while? So again, we have to look at the vitamins and the minerals. They are the causes of our hair loss. They are the causes of our scalp problems. They are the causes of our skin issues, minerals, deficiencies. They are the causes. So
before you go, tell them about the buy one, get one.
Okay. My team wants me to tell you guys about, I talked to you about my hair care line. This week on Hair and Scalp Meds, we are doing a BOGO, buy one, get one free. So I told you guys about my pumpkin oil. That's not the pumpkin.
50% off, you said free.
I said free? Okay, let's erase that. Rewind. Buy one, get one, 50% off all oils. I don't know what I just said before, but I'll try it again. Buy one, get one 50% off all oils. No code needed. Now, I've told you guys about the pumpkin oil that I developed many, many, many years ago. The reason why I developed this pumpkin oil is because I was thinking of a way, how can I get zinc back into somebody's scalp and hair who's losing hair? And I realized I could put it in an oil. So we used pumpkin. Pumpkin has a high amount of zinc and a high amount of copper. So this is my pumpkin hair serum. This week, buy one, get one 50% off. And the other oil I have is my Pure 7 hair repairing oil. This was the original oil that I developed to help people with hair loss. It contains a lot of the amazing herbs, rosemary. Rosemary is amazing to stimulate blood flow, stimulate and activate hair cells. And so this is another one of my products that I developed. Most of my entire hair care line was developed to help defeat hair loss. So again, I also have this oil, my coffee oil. This is my latest one. This one has a lot to do with hair also. I don't know if you know this, but coffee stimulates blood flow to the follicle. And when coffee stimulates blood, when blood comes to the follicle, guess what blood is bringing? It's bringing nutrients. It's bringing your zinc and your copper and your iron and your vitamin C and your B12s. So this is why I developed Caffeine HRT coffee hair elixir. It smells just like coffee. We literally use coffee beans. Everything of mine is plant-based, mostly all natural, and it is what it is. So again, this week, if you guys go to Hair and Scalp Meds, it will be in the description. If you go to my Instagram after this loads down, or my YouTube, you can get the link. There's no code needed for the buy one, get one 50% off of the oils. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me, for being here. And if you are not subscribing to my channel, I need you to subscribe today. If you're on TikTok, follow. If you're on YouTube, you better follow. And if you are on Instagram, please click the button and subscribe and follow. If you are wanting to learn to get healthy, you want to learn how to eat right, you want to do it the right way, then you need to follow me. I'll see you. Now, next Friday, I won't be live because my team is going out of town and I can't do this by myself. So you guys will see me the week after next. Thank you and enjoy your weekends.